Alright, so how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be building the best sleeper car possible. Sleeper cars, you know, they're impressive. Nobody expects them to be fast, and we're going to try to build the best one in the game to what I think is the best sleeper car in the game with the street racing specs. So to do that, we're going to have to head on over to the dealership, which is all the way in LA. So, you know, we got to take a little plane ride, go all the way to the dealership in LA, and get ourselves a car. Right, so we're here at the dealership here in LA, and we need to get ourselves a sleeper street racing car. So, you know, the middle range cars, they're about 100,000 in this game, 200,000, and I don't really consider them sleeper cars. Anything under 100,000 I would consider a sleeper car. So we can pretty much go all the way up to the Escalade. Everything under that is just cheap, basically under 100,000, 88,000 for that. But the car that we're going to be actually turning into a sleeper car, is this Mini Cooper Countryman All-4 2013 is the model year of it. You know, I just figured that this thing is probably going to turn out the best, and it's actually fairly cheap. So we'll see. It's got some pretty ugly rims on it, I guess. But I guess let's go for these ones. But like I said, I think it's like 40,000 bucks or something like that. So it's not really expensive at all. We have the parts to make this thing absolutely insane. Let's just see how it runs off the start. Interested to see if it's going to be any good at all. It's a Mini after all, so I'm not really expecting anything too crazy out of it. It does sound turboed though from the factory, which is fairly alright. I'm not sure if these cars are turboed or not from factory. Mini Cooper isn't a big thing here in Canada. But we're going to be trying to do our best to turn this thing into the best damn sleeper car that you can get. Right, so let's get this bike out of here and get the Mini on the customization thing. I decided to go with the brown color because it is junk. It's not a very good car. So I figured that makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense going with the brown color. Like I said, I wonder if there's any like rusty liveries for it. That would just be that much better. Don't really think that there's going to be, though. The fact that it is a very crappy car in the game. Yeah, there's like hardly any liveries for this thing. What does that do? Add something in the backs there. Stars versus the Force of Evil. I guess we'll go with the, like, what does this do? Does this just put a stripe on it? Yeah, it just puts a stripe on it. We'll go with this one here. It just like, I actually figure after looking at the liveries for the car, there's nothing really that great. The camo one would probably be the best one, but honestly, I'm just gonna leave it brown because I figure that that's probably the best idea that we can do at this point. So, you know, we can't really do anything to customization that's gonna make it look too crazy, just because again, it's a sleeper car. You don't want people knowing that it's got some power under the hood. So, we gotta keep this thing basically looking as bare bones as possible. So this thing adds a little lip down there. That's a little too much though. That just adds a little thing outside. That's lights. We can't use any of these. That's the problem. That's the problem with this. We can use blacked out headlights. That's not really a big deal. Front fenders there. We can black that out. Again, not a big deal. Rims, we need something that's not very flashy. So there is mini rims. Those things are white. We'll put them on just for the joke of it. I feel like it just makes it look stupid. We'll get rid of the chrome mirrors there. Side skirts, anything. Yeah, I guess we're gotta leave that. The wing is actually pretty cool. That's a pretty cool wing for the car, but again, we gotta keep it base. We gotta keep it very basic. This thing down here, that looks like the tips on these things are almost too big. It makes it look too nice. And we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. So I think this is gonna have to be our bumper. The interior color we can change though, so let's go ahead and make that. We'll make it like an orange color, but we'll do it just the stitching and the material put suede, just because again, you're not seeing the inside of the car. Get some of that wood grain in there. That's basically the customization of this thing. So this thing looks, again, it's a Cooper, so it's not going to be anything crazy. On the outside, you're not going to expect it to be anything that good, but this is where the car is going to be coming alive when we put these 280 parts on it. So let's go ahead and get 280 parts on everything, and that's going to go ahead and make it just an absolute monster, I'm fairly certain. So we'll see exactly what the times are that it runs, and we'll go from there. So suspension, we're gonna go ahead and throw this one on, and tires, we have one left. Okay, so we got all this car. It's up to 280. Let's check out those stats. So it's got a top speed of 225, 565 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and a quarter mile in 10. So I think this thing is going to be a half decent sleeper car. I think we're going to be able to just you know, fool the people with this crappy looking Mini. All right, so we're outside in this thing now. It does look abysmal. It doesn't look like anything fancy. Let's get a listen to it. So it definitely sounds a little bit more beefy, and let's go ahead and see what we can do with this thing. So again, it's definitely getting up to speed a lot faster than it was. Acceleration on it still is not the craziest thing in the world, but again, for cheap, this thing is insane, especially if you're out there and you're grinding missions to get the parts and you have extra 280 parts kicking around. Throw them on your Mini. Go buy a Mini, because like, oh my god, is the braking bad though. That was not good braking at all. It does not like braking. I was trying to skid around that corner and it just did not want to do it. Let's try this one here. Like, my gosh, the handbrake is just awful in this thing. But honestly though, it doesn't feel too bad. It's actually quite peppy for a little Mini Cooper, and that's important. I'm smacking there. But I'm definitely interested to see what the top speed we can get this thing up to, because it said 225. But I do know that with top speed and such, like I said, it's all variant, right? Like, you can get your car way past the top speed that the game says it's at. 225 is just a decent base model for this thing. So to do that, we are going to have to go to the one and only place that you do land speed records like that. We're going to have to go out to the Salt Flats and go from there. So I will see you guys at the Salt Flats. Alright, so we're on out here in the Salt Flats, and we are going to be trying to see what we can get this thing up to. A little bit of wheel spin there, but that's alright. So it's definitely got enough power to make those wheels spin on just pavement or Salt Flats. I honestly, it's basically like a ground dirt bottom of the flats. So, but hey, it had enough power to make the wheel spin, so this could be interesting to see what we can get this thing up to. But I'm feeling like it's a half decent sleeper car, honestly. Like, it's not performing that bad. So let's just go ahead and we're going to try to stop here. But like I said, the braking is just abysmal in this car. It's just awful. Is this thing an all-wheel drive as well, too? It kind of looks like it. I think it might be all-wheel drive. That's why it's not sliding very well. So here we are, Salt Flats, land speed record. We're going to try to set it in this Mini Cooper and see what we can get, because this is the best sleeper car. My opinion, that is. I guess everybody has a different opinion on sleeper cars. I think this is it. Let's give it a shot. All right, here we go. So immediately, first gear, just a little bit of slippage there in the 60. So at 100 in like a couple seconds, which is actually really good. And we are coming up to 160 now. So we'll wait until we max out, and then we'll hit that nitrous and see what it can do for us. So continuing, we're climbing on up in that speed. We're going to hit 200 miles an hour. Did you ever think a Mini Cooper could go 200 miles an hour? And it can. So last gear here, 6th gear, and we're slowly starting to accelerate. So it's kind of dipping off, kind of dying. Let's hit that nitro, see what we can get to. 233, 34, 33, 34 is what we're kind of locked at right there. And I don't know if we're going to get any faster than that, but we'll give it another shot going the other way. Because we're kind of starting to decline there. But 233 miles an hour in a little Mini Cooper. Did you think that was possible? I didn't. I definitely did not think this thing was going to even come close to that. But it didn't. That's pretty impressive for sure. So let's do this again, and we're going to see if we can pass that. So 233 is our benchmark. Let's go and see what we can do. So here we are. So we're off to speed again. Let's go ahead and give a little bit of nitrous right now. We should be able to rebuild it back up by the time that we actually get down there. We actually might be able to get a little bit faster of a speed considering we use that nitrous off the start. So again, this is all a test. This is all basically an idea. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're about to find out. So coming on at 200 miles an hour. We got to hit 6th gear soon. Come on, get that shift. Oh my gosh, here we are. All right, so 212, 213, 214. We're building slowly. I want to get up to like 220. Get us to 220, and then we'll hit the NOS, see if we can beat that speed. All right, let's see what we got. So 233, and we passed it. 236 is what we're going to top out at here today. So that is half decent. Honestly, the only problem with this car is the fact that it doesn't break worth anything. It's terrible when it comes to braking. The handling on it is pretty nice, and that's probably because it's such a small car. Like, it's very responsive when you control it. I would say this is the best damn sleeper car that money can buy in the game. All it needs is a couple 280 parts, and you are good to go. So I want to thank you guys for watching this here video. If you think the Mini Cooper is the best sleeper car in the game, definitely be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if this is your first time here. If you're new, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any Crew 2 uploads, and hit the post notification bell while you're at it because you know the sub boxes are broken, and if you want to be notified, that's the best way to do it. So, thank you guys for watching again. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys next time. Little skid there, send it out.